Griffin of Great Britain down to third. It's all a bit academic because the big boys have yet to start. And of course, the European record, 210 kilos. And just for good measure, the world record, 218 by Yong Zhang, set a year ago in Israel at Ramat Gan at the University Games, the first of those. And I'm not sure that's going to go today, but I think if Huster wants to win this, the way the odds are stacked against him after the snatch, he might well have to set a new European record, David.
Well, yes, the Bulgarian's down to start at 202.5. Of course, he's got that 10-kilo lead, so in theory, he'd have to break it with his, even if the Bulgarian only gets his first attempt.
Now, De Tomaso, who competed at 94 kilos last year, so he's come down to 85, and he's got this one. Okay, a second attempt.
He does look much stronger overhead with the clean and jerk, perhaps because of the closer grip. He was all over the place on those snatches.
He's got 1 or 2 X's in his career statistics, so he does have bad days when things don't go his way, but not too bad at the moment. He's got a reasonable sequence. It'll be Germany's Andrei Poko who comes in first before the Azerbaijani. Here he is. Poko, 192.5.
Yeah, so taking the 7.5 kilo jump that Steinhoffel took last night.
Well, I outlined there were 2 ways. I thought he might have gone the other way, 5 and 5, but it doesn't make any difference if he gets to 195. And that's his target for a 360. Clean is very good. That's a strong jerk, and providing there's nothing silly, there's surely 2.5 kilos to come. What do you think? Any more?
I think he could do another 5.
Worth it? Think he should?
Well,
what's to gain, what's to lose?
They're going to make...
At the moment, he's in the overall lead, but we've got to take into account that Gardiff's not started, Huster's not started, Sevinch has not started.
Yes, I mean, really, he's got nothing to lose by taking 197.5.
I mean, he was in a very frustrating 4th place, 5 kilos behind Sevinch. Now, does he hope that Sevinch runs into trouble and has a bad series? Or does he, in fact, encourage Sevinch to have a bad series by putting him under a little bit more pressure?
Well, he's in 4th place, whatever, and unless one of the big boys makes a mistake, I think that's where he's going to stay. So whether he goes to 95 or 97 is irrelevant, really.
So I suppose what we're saying, as you see, Gazanov frustrated with that failure at 192.5 is, might as well go for it. Let's go for it. Put a 5 kilos on.
Yes, I mean, this is his, as I said earlier, this is his first time on the international stage at this new body weight. He's weighed in very light. He's only weighed in at 82.7, so he can afford to gain a lot more body weight, which of course will be reflected in much higher poundages. And this is just, Pojka's another one of the athletes who's moving up now, so that by the time the Olympic Games comes round, he'll be established and have a chance of taking on the men at the top.
And he could, if something goes wrong with Gardiff in the clean and jerk, or Sevinch, or even Huster, there's a bronze medal tantalizingly close. So our money's on, if we were Frank Mantek, the head coach, I think we'd put the 5 kilos on, but we're not, so we'll wait and see what happens. Rutkowski now, 195 kilos, so this is 5 kilos up. This will take the lead in the clean and jerk, and it'll keep him in 2nd place overall, as Pojka's at the moment 7.5 kilos ahead of him in the main race.
Needs to hold the feet in line, which he does. So that's 5 for 5.
Very good. And that really does help his cause, because he had 2 failures in the clean and jerk at 195 last year. So this is a much better performance from him.
First and last attempt for Francesco De Tomaso, Italy.
So the bar staying at 195 for the last attempt.
It's interesting with the pole, actually, because he got a snatch last year of 162.5, but he's finished 2.5 kilos below that. But his clean and jerk's going better this year than his snatch. So Tommaso 195.
No, that's just too heavy.
And so that's what he finishes on at the moment. De Tomaso in 4th place, but he's not going to hold on to that in the clean and jerk. Overall, he's got 340, and that means he's been surpassed by 1 or 2 from the B group, notably Georgi Ehrlich of Hungary, Sergio Manironi, his own teammate, and Andrei Kuplik, who are all ahead.
The bar now is on 197.5 for Puchka.
So this will be a really good piece of work, this, if he can do it. He'll have 5 out of 6 lifts.
And a new personal record.
Yeah, 362.5. Well, I've actually got him down as 367.5 as his all-time best.
I'm not sure if that's correct. I know this is a personal best, and I know he hasn't snatched more than 165. So maybe the statistics on your sheet are incorrect.
Maybe we've done the maths wrong. Doesn't matter. What matters is what he does now, because this could be for a medal. Has to work a little bit, but nonetheless it's a good effort. Now, can he chuck it over his head? Fires it up. Oh, that's terrific. Well done. What a good afternoon's work. What an excellent afternoon's work. And he came in here very much as the number 2 German. He is the number 2 German, the new boy in the class, and a little bit of showmanship. There's Frank Mantek, and they've got to be delighted with that.
Yes, the new body weight class obviously suits him. Cleans well. Perfect, technically. And one wonders if, perhaps if he was allowed a 4th attempt, if he could even go 200.
Well, he's not number 1 yet. Georgi Gardiff might be number 1. Now, this is the man who is the new world record holder at the snatch, being fired up there with Baziev's special salts, and now starting his clean and jerk campaign. And he, of course, has this 7.5 kilo advantage over the field. He's light, which could well be worth another 2.5 kilos. And we know, because our colleague Todor Shabansky from Bulgarian television has seen him in training doing 210 and not having to lose weight to do it. That's very good.
So he's got 380 and 2 lifts to come.
Zooms to the top of the table.
So already he's left Huster with the task of equaling the European record, and that's just with his opener.
Yes, because just to explain that, Huster is 10 kilos behind effectively, and that 200 means that he's got to find those 10 kilos. Now, Redkowski for his 3rd and final attempt, and he's got 200 on the bar. So this would take him up to 360. It wouldn't change positions. Poko overall would stay in second place. But it does, if he holds still and he gets it, he's got 3 white lights and it takes him into silver medal position for the moment in the clean and jerk.
And of course 6 good lifts.
So, in fact, it takes him into gold medal position in the clean and jerk because he's lighter than Georgi Gardiff. So if you look at that and the fact that you've got Huster and Sevinch, so maybe Ritkovsky's got ideas that he could get lucky if something happens to the others. Now Mark Huster, 2:02.5 for his opener.
Yes, just taking that extra 2.5 kilo to go into the lead on the clean and jerk.
This man, terrific sportsman, enjoys a bit of downhill skiing, goes off to the Tyrol in Austria pretty well every year around Christmas time, although he won't do that next Christmas because it's time to prepare for the Olympic Games. Twenty seconds.
Easy. That's a good start for Mark.
Looking very serious now. He knows that he's really got a fight on here. If he wants to retain the European title, he's going to have to work jolly hard. He was champion in '97 in Rijeka, champion in '98. So this is a hat-trick he's trying to pull off today in European titles.
First attempt for
Dimas wasn't around in '97 when he got the European title, but he was last year. And that was a terrific effort by Mark, spurred on by his home fans. But then in the World Championships, Dimas got the better of him again. And overall, Dimas has got the major victories in the Olympic Games when he took the gold and Huster took the silver. And really, the medal that Mark Huster wants is that Olympic gold in Sydney in the millennium year. It'll be down in Darling Harbour, right in the centre of Sydney. The weightlifting taking place there. And now Dusan Sevinch back to the now. 205 kilos, 5 below his European record of 210.
Yes, Sevinch, the strong man, but always a question mark on his technique. Well, there's the lead, though.
Two to 1 against.
Ah. So we'll have to look at that again.
Now, is that a press out?
I didn't think so. I thought the lift was okay.
Have a look at the bounce on the shoulders when he takes it up.
No, that looks perfect.
So
but again, we're looking at it from a different angle. But to me, the lift looked fine. We'll just watch those arms again. No, drives the bar straight to arm's length, feet in line.
Well, we're a bit mystified about that. Georgi Gardiff, 205.
This will actually be a personal best for Gardiff in the clean and jerk and the total. Now
that really plays into Huster's hands.
He must do that lift, otherwise Huster's Huster could catch him.
At the moment in the clean and jerk, it's Huster with 202.5. Ritkovsky of Poland is in silver medal position with 200. And Gardiff in picture now on 200 by virtue of being slightly heavier than the pole. And Poko out of the medals in the clean and jerk, but still in overall bronze position position at the moment, and Sevinch
still to complete an attempt on 205. And it leaves you wondering whether
well,
there's Mark.
So the suggestion is oscillation, which is a double
bounce. Yeah, using the spring on the bar to make it easier to drive it overhead. Because of course, when you've got that much weight, you can dip, make the bar bend, and then as it whips up, then you chuck it up at the same time.
Tricks of the trade. But a trick spotted by the 3 referees.
Now Gardiff really needs to get this 205, because now looking on the start lift, he was down at 202.5, and if he fouls this, it's going to make you think, well, you know, maybe the 200 start wasn't the right decision. Maybe he should have come in at 202.5.
Well, in the European Championships, he opened up a year ago on 192.5 and then went straight to 202.5 and didn't get that. In the World Championships, he opened up on the 200, got it, and then went to 205, tried it twice, didn't get it either time. And
well, if he doesn't get it today, he's giving it back to Huster.
Well, as I said, he has, as we understand it, done this in Sofia before he came here just a week ago.
So strong in that first phase. Now, there it is.
So the 205 that he couldn't manage in the Worlds 6 months ago, he manages today. And that finishes Georgi Gardiff on a total of 385 kilos. Incidentally, 385 is the total that Mark Huster has finished on for the last 3 major competitions. The last World Championship, the European Championship last May in Riesa, and the Worlds before that.
But of course, to win this, he now needs 387.5, which would be a clean and jerk of 215, which would be 5 kilos over the present European record and just 3 kilos under the world record.
Indeed, the European total, incidentally, or the world standard, in fact, is 395. Nobody's actually put their name to that. The 7-inch now. Well, same sort of technique. Now, is that acceptable?
Yes,
well,
2-1.
Not to the central judge. He's red-lighted him for exactly the same movement, but 2 judges, and that's all you need, have given him the 205 kilos. So what that means is that 7-inch now, sorry, 207.5, I should say, my apologies to him. 207.5 kilos gives him the lead in the clean and jerk. Gardiff in silver medal position, Huster's in bronze, Retkovsky's off the clean and jerk podium, and both he and Pochka are out of the medals in both of those. It's the big boys, it's the big 3. Now 7-inch has got 1 lift left, Huster's got 2, this is 210, this equals 7-inch's European record, and then he's got 1 lift left. A 28-year-old star of German weightlifting. Ronnie Weller might take exception to that, but he's the personality, Huster, as well as a talented lifter.
Oh yes, but he looks strong now. Well, that was comfortable. And it makes me wonder, maybe there is another 5 kilos there, and maybe he can be European champion again still. Who knows?
Well, he's under pressure. He's being asked the questions. And he's got one more answer to give.
Mark has a personal best of 215 kilos, but he did it in a competition in Germany weighing overweight. So we know he's capable of it. Whether or not he can do it at 85 kilos is another thing. But having looked at that last attempt, it's definitely a possibility.
If he had to just go for 2.5, you'd feel happy. But 5 at this level, in this situation. So Sevinch now going for a new European record, 212.5 kilos.
Yes, and of course, if Sevinch does this, Huster's got the decision. Does he go for the 212?
And get the clean and jerk goal because he's the lighter man,
or does he go for the 215 and go for the overall? Of course, if Sevinch fails with this, then Huster will almost certainly go 215. And what a way to finish.
Yes. We missed Dimas, but it's still a cracking little fight, this. He's got coming up to 20 seconds, Sevinch. Love to see him do this. Well, that's a familiar expression. He catches it on his knee on the way up and finishes in silver medal position. So whatever happens now, Mark Huster's got the gold.
Just looking at the board, David, the Huster's got 215 on the board, so he's going for it. What a way to end this 85 kilo class with a new European record, and all down to the last lift.
Indeed, the situation, just to bring you up to date, is that Georgi Gardiff is currently in the lead overall. As you see Sevinch's disappointment, he's in the lead with 385, exactly 2.5 kilos ahead of Mark Huster, but Gardiff the lighter by 400 grams, and that's why Huster's got to go for 5 kilos more.
So Huster being pushed to and beyond the limit. So now going for the hat-trick.
And 387.5 kilos, which I remind you is 2.5 kilos more than he's achieved in the last 3 major championships. Now, if he gets it, he's European champion. If he doesn't get it, then Gardiff is the champion and becomes the first Bulgarian for 10 years to take this title.
So, let's see what he can do.
10 seconds. 9.
Needs to stand, which he does. Well, this will be an amazing end to this championship. Now.
Come on, Mark!
There it is!
Come on!
Yes!
Look
at that! That's incredible! Yes, look at that!
A hat-trick of championships, a European record, and from the depths in the snatch to a gold medal triumph. Huster doesn't disappoint. What a fantastic finish. And even his great rival, but also his great friend Dimas, will surely be joined. There's Frank Mantek, the mastermind of the German team. And we'll be round for a few beers to their hotel. They're in the posh hotel, by the way, on the seafront, just across the road from the beach. We're opposite the docks and the harbour. So they can look at those on the beach. We can look at tankers. But Huster,
well, I'm sure Gardiff must have thought he'd done it.
Gardiff finishes in the silver medal position. Sevinch finishes in the bronze medal position. A year ago, Gardiff was 4th overall, and Sevinch was 3rd. Huster was the champion, but Dimas absent means that the furniture almost remains the same, apart from the fact that Gardiff has leapt ahead of Sevinch and is clearly a man who's making progress. But just look at that. Thought he was going to rip it apart. There it is. Clean and jerk, a gold medal with a European record, 5 kilos up. That's no mean achievement to break a record by 5 kilos. And that's a really good standard. It's only 3 kilos below the world standard. And that will tell Mark something about himself, because as we said right at the beginning of tonight's competition, he came here as a last-minute replacement. He was aiming for a different target. He wasn't at his absolute best, and yet he still pulled it out. So that really underlines what a good competitor he is. And further down the field, well, a lot of men who were in the A group who've been surpassed by others in the B, but the stars, Huster, who gets 2 gold medals and a European record, but of course Gardiff, still the man to beat when it comes to the snatch.
So another look at that European record of 215 kilos.
It was the clean that was the concern, but once he got there, he's looked very strong overhead in the clean and jerk. And what a party there's going to be tonight. Because that wasn't according to the script, but it doesn't matter.
He might be too old to be a student, but he's not too old to break the European clean and jerk record.
There it is, 387.5. Terrific total there. Gardiff 385, really good performances, and 7-inch 375. That's a little bit low, 7-inch is best, but a really good competition. And the other German, Andre Poschke, as you said, in his first real attempt at this 85 kilo, he's got to be happy. 362.5, he's got a bit to find on his teammate. But he and Rytkowski of Poland, I think, will take some heart about that. And there's Ehrlich of Hungary from the B group, and Manironi also from the B group, and Kutlik, who was stronger at the clean and jerk than he was at the snatch. All there finishing in 6th, 7th and 8th. So again, as we said, this is a situation which the governing bodies of the sport are going to have to look at to make